When I first accepted Christ, I was 8 years old. I was lying in bed, and I was thinking to myself, what happens if I die? And will I go to heaven or hell? And I remember the prayer, it was, God, please wash my heart and make it white as snow. I just kept repeating the white as snow part because I'd heard that from other people who had accepted Christ. When I was older, like more starting youth group, I thought, is he really in my heart? Because I felt like I wasn't calling out for the right reasons and that you had to call out for the right reason to have him in your heart. But like, if you're calling out to him, he hears you either way and he understands you better than anyone. Kind of looking back on it, I can see he did come and start working in me as long as I can remember. Most of my friends, most of my social life, for that matter, came from church. And when I started coming to youth group, there were 3 guys at church here who I got close to when I was younger. When I started hanging out with them more, it was kind of like I was having more wholesome conversations at least, and I felt like I was kind of connecting with them more. I spent a lot of time going on walks with them and just talking to them about like our lives. I would listen to them, they would listen to me, and we would talk about stuff. When I started high school, I started looking at things I knew I wasn't supposed to be looking at. At the start, I wasn't really trying to deal with it. On one hand, I knew it was wrong, but I kind of just pushed aside the moral basis of it. And that didn't last very long because like the guilt really catches up with you. At that point, I kind of got good at something I probably wasn't supposed to be getting good at, which was hiding things from other people and kind of putting faces on and kind of just observing, how do I want people to see me act? How do I want people to perceive me? And I tried out like a bunch of different things. I would always get some ego boost when I saw that it was working, and I was like, oh, they really believe this about me. I think I was fooling myself because I think I was just becoming those things and telling myself, no, you can take this mask off at any time. And through a procession of times where I would just put my hope in other things to get away from that problem, and then that hope would of course fall and it would all just pile on me, and I would just be crying by myself. And in that time, I started praying to him about it. I was like, God, I know this is wrong. I know you don't want me to do this, but I don't know how to stop. Those are probably some of the most powerful prayers I've ever had because it was complete desperation. I needed him, and he was there, and it was just an amazing sense of peace. And it wasn't like in that moment I didn't struggle with any of that anymore, and from there on out became a very good person and happy and everything. No, I feel like at that point God just made it so I was able to see how much more I needed him because he helped me deal with that. I'm relying on him for more things. I'm praying to rely on him. I'm not trying to do a bunch of things on my own. I'm thinking, I need God. How do I ask for God's help right now? And not let all that shame and guilt from what I'd done before hold me back. For the longest time, I would see the baptism slide pop up and I would just kind of be immediately filled with like anxiety because I'd heard a lot of testimonies and they all kind of had a lot of familiar components, and I had been looking over my life and I was like, I don't know if I have everything that makes a good testimony. But then when it popped up recently, I looked at it and I thought to myself, I want to get baptized. That definitely wasn't just me. There's no way I could have just pushed aside all those feelings and just changed like that. I feel like God was calling me. It's time to share your story. It's time to let people know you follow me, you're my child.
Izac, are you by nature and choice a sinner?
Yes. Is there any hope for you apart from Christ?
No.
Do you believe that Jesus is the Christ, the Son of the living God?
Yes. Then it is our pleasure to baptize you in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.